Before you even know you're gay, you already have the sensation of being slightly off script. You watch romantic Disney movies as a kid and think, wow, she's cute, but like in a I want her hair way? Meanwhile, the same gender character shows up for 2 seconds and your heart does a front flip like it's auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. You don't understand it. You just know it's different. You sense it in the way adults say, that's just a phase, as if you're a software update they're trying to ignore. You try to fit in. You copy how straight boys act, bad posture, forced deep voice, talking about girls you don't care about. Or, if you're a girl, you pretend to have crushes on boys the same way people pretend they like kale. You say he's cute, but it sounds like you're reading from IKEA instructions, emotions sold separately. And then, one day, there's that moment, a tiny click somewhere in your brain, a recognition, a puzzle piece falling into place. You're gay. Not broken, not confused, just gay. It feels like clarity, sharp and electric, like you solved a mystery you never asked to investigate. A relief so real it almost hurts. But right behind that relief sits the dread. Because suddenly, you remember how the world treats different, and you know you're about to pay the price. People think coming out is a one-time grand announcement, a dramatic movie scene with soft piano music. No, coming out is the Wi-Fi password of your identity. You'll have to repeat it for the rest of your life. You come out to your closest friends, they hug you like you survived being kidnapped. You come out to your coworkers, they say things like, I always knew, as if they were quietly reading your gay aura. You come out to your aunt, who insists your boyfriend is just your roommate. You come out to the Uber driver who keeps asking if your wife is waiting at home. You come out to strangers who don't even need to know. Because somehow, sexuality becomes public property the second you aren't straight. Every new person is a gamble. Will they be chill? Will they turn into a medieval priest? Will they ask invasive questions like, so when did you decide to be gay? Or which one of you is the woman? Or how do you, do it? They ask like they're collecting data for a weird documentary. Even the supportive ones have that tone. The one that says, I still love you, as if you confess to embezzling money from a church.
Family reactions are complicated. Some are truly supportive. They adjust their expectations, their vocabulary, their understanding. Those people deserve awards. Others treat your identity like a tragic plot twist. But you seemed so normal, they say, as if you could have burst into a rainbow at your 7th birthday and saved them the shock. Holiday dinners become minefields. Someone slips in a homophobic joke wrapped in nostalgia. Everyone laughs nervously. You sit there debating whether to ruin Christmas or ruin your mental health. Either way, the cranberry sauce tastes like emotional suppression. Straight dating is chaotic, sure. But gay dating? It is a survival sport. You open the apps, you're greeted by a wall of torsos, filtered faces, and bios that say, no fats, no femmes, no Asians. As if being racist was a personality type. You match with someone who seems nice, they ghost you mid-sentence. You match with someone else, they fetishize you immediately. You're cute for a gay guy, they say, which is basically like telling someone you're smart for someone who eats crayons. And when you finally meet someone decent, there's a second fear. Are they safe? Are they questioning? Are they hiding? Are they someone who love you quietly and deny you publicly? You don't just look for love, you look for safety, both physical and emotional. Holding hands in public shouldn't feel like defusing a bomb, but it does. You scan the area, you calculate exits, you gauge which strangers look like they binge-watch conspiracy videos at 2 a.m. A simple kiss becomes a political act. something straight couples post on Instagram with a soft filter and zero consequences. Meanwhile, your kiss could get you a dirty look, a lecture, a threat, or worse, violence.
Being gay at work feels like walking a tightrope. You monitor your voice, your gestures, your pronouns, your reactions. You laugh at jokes you hate to avoid looking sensitive. You dodge questions like you're playing emotional dodgeball. HR loves to say things like, "We're an inclusive workplace." But the inclusivity dissolves the moment someone mutters, "Well, we can't say anything anymore," after making a joke about pronouns. And suddenly, your career feels like an unstable Jenga tower balanced on the tolerance of people who think watching Queer Eye made them experts on empathy. You finally decide to go to therapy. You hope for understanding. You get a therapist who winces when you say, "my boyfriend." You say you're struggling with acceptance. They ask if you've tried being less gay, in more professional words, of course. Doctors aren't better. You go in with a sore throat, they ask about your entire sexual history, as if your cough might come out wearing sequins. Religion? Even if you've escaped it, someone will bring it up. But the Bible says, cool, the Bible also says don't eat shrimp, yet no one is protesting outside Red Lobster.
Growing up, queer characters in media were dead, dying, crying, or comic relief. When one finally gets a happy ending, half the internet acts like civilization is collapsing. Then there's politics. People debate your rights like it's a thought experiment. Should gay people marry? Should gay people adopt? Should gay people exist loudly? Those aren't questions. Those are weapons disguised as conversation. Even your voice becomes evidence. Too high? Gay. Too low? Intimidating. Too anything? Wrong. And if someone finds out you're gay, you instantly become, "my gay friend said," as if you're a citation, not a person.
Traveling while gay is not vacation mode. It's stealth mode. You pack 2 personalities, one for safety, one for survival. You memorize which countries could arrest you just for holding hands. You check hotel reviews to see if other gay couples survived. You plan getaways like you're prepping for wilderness survival. Because the world still treats queerness as something to tolerate, not something that simply is. Because acceptance is loud in June and suspiciously quiet the rest of the year. Because trauma lingers even when laws change. Because microaggressions pile up quietly. Because safety is never guaranteed. Because progress doesn't erase the parts of you that learn to shrink to survive. But here's the thing, and it's the part no one tells you. Despite all of it, you still love, you still laugh, you still build friendships that feel like home. You find people who understand you without explanation. You create joy out of fragments. You learn softness without apology. You learn strength without permission. Being gay still feels hard, not because you are wrong, but because the world is still learning how to be right. And while it catches up, you remain here, brilliant, stubborn, unfiltered, carving a space where you don't just survive, you thrive. You exist, you love, you shine. And that, to some people, is the hardest thing of all.
If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.